Oh, that's how we do the show now. We just don't even get okay. Thank you, everybody. I was doing something. You're the man for that there, Shandog. Thank y'all again for hanging out with the third show. As always, I appreciate and love the fact that I get to share this time with my brothers, my man Smitty, and our ridiculous little brother Shannon. What is you doing, bruh? So today's show is going to be a
multitude of
group of thoughts. I think we all have
a micro macro masterpiece.
A micro macro. We're doing both of them at the same time.
We're doing Absolutely. A multitude. We're doing a multitude of thoughts, and we're doing it inclusively.
What?
I love that. I love that.
That was worse than micro macro. Just
no. That I'm putting all my money in on that. I love that.
That's the one.
That's the one.
So we can take the show. Let's see what we want to start. We want to start with school.
No, let's start with. Actually, let's start with. Why don't we start with our biggest topic that's been in the paper here?
We'll start there, Scrappy.
Well, let's talk about. Everybody knows about the Vallejo, the reporter, and the 3%ers.
Oh, so we're going in guns blazing. Gotcha.
So, let's go in guns blazing.
Let me. I'm a gun blazing kind of guy.
Yes.
I don't want to see the cards. So I don't know if you guys ever played no peek poker. That's when you bet without even seeing your cards.
Just go, yes. Just feeling it.
That's where I'm going. So I'm going all in on no peek poker. And let's just throw it out there. So we have city council members, and this is not a shot. And what we're going to talk about tonight. I don't think everything we've ever conversated has not made people go, oh, I didn't know that. Oh, yeah. I think we just actually talk about it and bring it up in discussion, or it evolves itself, or whatever the case may be. But what we're going to talk about, what we're going to get into, the subjects that may come up that may take us off the highway, so to speak. There's no shockers. So with the whole 3%ers, I would like to just maybe give it some groundwork. We all know, I think us three know, and then the extended audience know that there's domestic terrorist groups, the KKK, notably, Proud Boys, notably, 3%ers, your local mom and pop run-of-the-mill Dukes of Hazzards terrorist groups. Okay, they're everywhere. All right, they're everywhere. So for us to think, and not just Black folks, but any human being living in this country, to think that there's parts of the entity in a particular city that doesn't touch that terrorist group or one of those terrorist groups, that's just you're not living in the real world. Yes. You're not living in the real world. And this past week or so, one of the local news agencies reported as such. And not only did they name one entity, they basically tied them. We had law enforcement, we had city council members. So again, to think that these folks don't exist in our everyday run-of-the-mill, I see you at the Nugget, we have a latte, they don't exist. You're living in not in the real world. So that's what I want to preface with all of that.
Right. And just so everybody knows, everybody's read the articles and everything, and they see the name Roy Stockton that keeps coming up. So just so everybody, so it's out there in the open. I did speak with Roy, and I kindly told him, let me know, give me a statement. Roy took it upon himself and did more than that. He gave me 2 separate statements. His first statement.
Hey Shannon, bruh,
Yeah.
let me hop in. I please.
Yeah.
As much, the people know locally here, I should say, Roy Stockton, city council member, law enforcement, blah, blah, blah. But again, I just want to point out the obvious to me. If you're shocked by that, you're not paying attention. What I would like to just extend on that, because I don't want to waste time on Roy Stockton, because there's a million Roy Stocktons from East Coast to West Coast, from Dallas on up to Chicago. Okay, this is what I want to get into. In that article, they included the movie star Pratt. Is that how you say his name, Pratt?
Pratt, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So again, I don't know this guy. I don't watch his movies. I could care less. He's a movie star. Great. Good for him. Live your life, man. It's all great. But I will say this. He's tied in an article to having knowledge. Okay, maybe he's not part of the 3%, but he has knowledge of what's going on. I asked this question.
Yeah.
What if Denzel Washington, a Black actor, was found to be associated with the Nation of Islam?
Okay, so.
And that's not even a terrorist. That's not a terrorist organization. That is
you're right.
Function.
So just to make sure everybody understands, Chris Pratt is the actor. So his brother is a sheriff, or used to be. Was he used to be a sheriff, or is a sheriff? Is a sheriff. So I just don't. We're not saying that Chris Pratt is a 3%er, but his brother though and Roy Stockton have both been tied to 3%ers. And now, in all fairness to Shannon's point, Roy did go above and beyond, even though it was, I think it was a little late. He should have did it earlier and quicker, so it sounded less like a politician's answer. Because if somebody says, Troy, I seen you at a Klan meeting the other day, what's going on? I'm gonna tell you automatically, no, you didn't.
Right.
I'm not gonna wait a week and be like, well, I don't know what my friends do. And you did not see this Troy at a Klan meeting. Or, and that's just an example. Yeah. So Roy did actually denounce, very politically denounce, in a very political way.
Very political.
Very political. Yeah. And that was our problem. That was our problem before, because we're like, dude, what you waiting on? If you're not, you're not. Just say you're not. You know what I mean? It is cool. And to your point, that I think that's the issue. And that's the issue that we all have. One, let's not be naive that these people ain't out there.
Right.
Because as we've said before, we all understand we're not getting rid of racism.
Never.
We're just not. But there are certain aspects in which will not be tolerated. We can't have our civil servants and our servant protects running around with badges and guns, but also meeting and having, these little secret 3% Klan meetings and so on and so forth.
Right.
That we can't have.
Here you go. To your point about that political correct denouncement.
Yes.
Here we are. Where there's smoke, there's fire. I heard that since I was a little boy. Where there's smoke, there's fire. Right. Mm-hmm. So if all of us roll up to a bank, heist it, we take pictures together, and then after the heist, man, I didn't know that they was going to steal in that bank.
See, the reason why I got in the car afterwards was, right? See, I didn't know that that's what they was,
Yeah, I got to research better my friends who I hang around with. you know, because I don't know what they be into. I don't know what they be into. But
Wait, isn't that like dry snitching though?
It,
Oh,
it could be.
oh,
It could be.
we can,
It could be.
we can make a case for it. I'm just saying. I mean, but that ain't our business. That's him and his partners.
Not our business.
That ain't got nothing to do with us. That ain't got
You
nothing
know,
to do with
so
us.
I just want to get back to the denouncement part because I can't let that go. I can't let that go.
That man said, "Ain't that like dry snitching?"
It is dry snitching. It's dry snitching.
I don't know. You know, I'm not into that.
I don't really rob banks. You know,
my boys, I didn't know that's how they get down.
Right.
But every time there's a bank robbery on the news, one of them just go get a boat. So
right.
I'm not.
So
and they know when they got a job.
I just want to speak on the denouncement. What a world we live in. What a world we live in. Because everybody's so politically correct. Here you go. This is how I denounce as a man. We can go. I had my shirt on last week, but as a man, this is how I denounce things.
Yes.
I got family members, close family members that do drugs. Some sell drugs.
Yeah.
I don't do drugs. I don't sell drugs. I hate drugs. I will pass any drug test you give me for eternity. I don't do drugs. I don't care for them. They don't do, I just don't do them. That's not what I do. Please go research that. See that denouncement? See that denouncement?
Yes. So
simple.
Now, this is a part. This part is going to be a public service announcement for anybody else who needs to denounce something if it pops up.
Are we giving up we provide solutions and we provide denouncement letters.
I know we usually wait for the end of the show, but I think this one is important. Now, if you get photographed with any sort of memorabilia, any sort of, oh yeah, you know, they went ahead and made this for you with these particular emblems and stickers on them, you ask what their meaning are.
Or you can say it wasn't me.
Hold on. Especially if your job.
Shannon is on one tonight, y'all. Shannon ain't said much, but his 2 quick jabs have been vicious.
Vicious. But if your checks are from any county, city, or state, you need to know what those symbols are. And then you can say, you know what? Thank you, but this is not what I'm about. And the other part of that is, yes, exactly, Shannon, thank you. The other part of that is, if you have to put out a disclaimer, don't say you don't know what that's about.
Absolutely.
Don't say that.
You pretty much just ruined the whatever you're going to denounce.
You just shot yourself in the foot. You know, you just said, no, I'm anti-drug, but oh, was that my weed I just dropped?
Where that 8-ball at? Where that 8-ball at?
Put that down.
Yeah.
You know, you can't be the alcoholic going to AA, but somebody take a picture you coming out the Elks.
But wait, I still want to go back because I think it's important. I don't lose focus. What happened?
Denzel. Oh, I'm sorry. That's right. My bad.
Now, mind you, the Nation of Islam is not a terrorist organization.
And has not been labeled one?
Has not been labeled one. Okay. But what if they found out, Denzel been hanging out with Farrakhan? What do you think? What kind of reaction in comparison to Pratt would happen?
There's going to be a conversation of, wait, can we take away his Oscar?
Man.
And mind you, Chris Pratt, once again, because I like Chris Pratt. I think he's hilarious.
I don't know him. What movie does he do? What movie does he do?
He did what you call it? He was in the Parks and Recreation on TV. Okay. And he did what can I remember? Because I remember his character's name is Star-Lord, and that was like a joke about it.
Okay. All right.
But it's a Marvel movie.
All right.
He did two of them. But it's hilarious. He's a good dude.
But I think you
But his
touched on
brother.
it. I think you touched on it that, you know, it's going to be a quick clickbait first and foremost.
Yes.
It's going to be a smear campaign. You know, everything he's done is going to come into question.
Everything. Everything he said, even if it wasn't him, even if they found out. What's that?
Just because we are about all facts and everything.
Yes.
And fact checked. Right. I just fact checked. And the only reason I fact check, because I have brothers of mine who are a part of the Nation of Islam. And they listen and they follow the teachings. My thing is, though, up under these people last daddy deemed them as a terrorist group back in 2019. So yeah. So yeah, they daddy made that happen.
Big Papa Orange?
Yeah.
Big Papa Orange.
Big Papa Orange.
So there you go. Again, we can get so lost in local politics, but it's so much bigger than that. That's why I said the micro macro show.
Yeah.
You know, because that right there. And thank you, Shannon. Thank you for fact checking. I appreciate that, because I don't mind being wrong. I love being wrong. It's cool. Okay. But the fact that you have the president of the United States deeming a religious organization a terrorist group, but then plays public favoritism and sides with Kanye West, people of this nature, to free one or two Black individuals from incarceration, is playing to the public. It's not getting anything done. You know, again, it speaks to controlling the narrative. He controls the narrative. So when we have these individuals who allegedly don't know what symbols represent, or they weren't aware that they had ties to this organization, and they sit in government official positions, can we truly ever be convinced that things are going to change? No.
Well, I mean, it goes into the saying, though, if you want to change racism, you have to want to change racism.
And understand, you know, these people have never wanted to change racism. So, and
it works in their favor. I mean,
no, but and keeping in mind, we because we have a lot still to cover in this show. I say we're done with the denouncing, the dry snitching, the plain out being a rat in their terms. But plain and simple, let's move on to the next topic.
Just real quick, I just got the one question. Are we calling him a rat?
No.
I think he was referring to the rock band, RATT.
Okay, cool. Because the dry snitching, I wasn't gonna call the man a rat. I didn't think he was, he a little dry snitching. But
Shannon said this was multi-encompassing tonight. So we went into rock band legends. Rat, RATT. Look them up. Google.
Yeah.
Youngsters.
So moving on.
So moving on, but staying on this. Accountability.
We need accountability across the board. I'm with you there.
Okay.
Matter of fact, I got pissed off, and I gotta bring it up to you, brother. Troy knows about it. I gotta bring it up because it pissed me off. The one thing that we probably don't want to talk about, I'm going to talk about, because it does a disservice to our people to run around and be led behind the blind.
Where are we going with this?
The NAACP, a national organization that's supposed to be concerned with the advancement of colored people, has partook in suing President Trump for the Capitol riot.
I seen that.
Yes.
Yeah. but they're not worried about anything that's going on inside the neighborhood of the Black communities.
Concur wholeheartedly.
So let me tell you a quick story, just to back that up. I'll say about, was it 5 years ago? Maybe 6, I think. There was a whole bunch of, in Oakland and Berkeley, there was all of a sudden just a whole lot of weird racial stuff. And so I had got onto an NAACP chat room, and I had put the question out there. What are we doing? What are you guys doing? And it was before I became a member. It was, what are you guys doing about this stuff happening in Oakland? What's going on? And a brother answered me from Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And his answer was, well, the NAACP is mostly, we concern ourselves on the national stage as far as issues go. So I had to ask it, well, what's the point of having branches? What's the point of doing, of wanting to get everybody's money and all this other stuff? If something happens on the streets, you're nowhere to be found.
Bingo.
What's the, how does this even make sense? And he couldn't answer me. It was, well, we try to do with the national, with changing the issues and bills and blah, blah, blah. Really? But you're nowhere to be found when people need you.
Right. I think that, again, back to the perception,
yes,
what they want the public to see is that eye candy. Oh yeah, you have a local chapter right here in your town. You have this person you could reach out to, but what gets done?
Facts.
The thing is this. The thing is, we're going to talk about accountability, and Shannon, I think this falls in line with accountability. You're the forefront. I think everybody has their own opinions about the NAACP as we stand in 2021. I'm sure there's people who don't care for them, people who love them, people who in the middle, whatever the case. But you are, and you can argue with me, you are the forefront, most recognized civil rights, social justice, nonprofit group in the land.
Period.
And period, hands down. Now there's many others, don't get me wrong. There's other little ones, okay, great, whatever. But here's the thing. If you're going to be bigger than your britches, and you're going to forget where your grassroots come from, again, the accountability. White folks is like, they ain't worried about what's going on in Oakland. They ain't worried about 400 people getting killed in Chicago last year for no reason. That's straight gun violence. How come the NAACP ain't raising their voices about that? How come they ain't said nothing about the little boy that got ran over by the drunk driver in Florida? That's NAACP territory right there.
South, please.
So, accountability starts at the top and it goes all the way to the bottom. There's a tricky word in there though. It's called trickle.
Yes.
Most of the time,
trickle down effect. Yeah.
When the trickling gets to trickle, y'all seen water trickle. By the time the trickle get down to the bottom, it ain't even water anymore. It's probably just the oxygen part of the hydrogen, and that's the problem. Because you have Derek Johnson, the president of the NAACP. All right. When it gets down to the nuts and bolts of it, where's Derek in Oakland? Where's Derek in Sacramento? Where's Derek in the Bronx? Where's Derek in Baltimore? LA. Where's Derek in Little Rock, Arkansas? But by the time it gets down, now you have this one guy at the top of this organization, soapboxing on his little stage, doing whatever he got to do to hobnob. Then they trickle down. Now you got these local chapters across the country with their little guy on top trying to hobnob and do the tango whoop-de-doo, shaking hands and kissing babies. But the kissing the babies, they white babies, and the hands they shaking is white hands. So where's the work being done? Where's the work
it's
being
funny.
done?
I mean,
It's not being done. They're being trained. And see, I like where Smitty took it, where it starts at the top and that trickle down effect. So you have master puppet right here, and it goes down, and they all become puppets or puppeteers because they start acting like this big puppet. You know, it's all following suit. Honestly,
it is.
you know what? And before people take it that, oh, he's offending the NAACP. No, I'm not offending the NAACP. I'm going to say the hell with the NAACP. Their roots are over with. Their time, the people who the civil rights movement, everything that happened, I honor them people. The people we have now are jokes.
And this is the problem because have you watched Judas and the Black Messiah, Smitty?
No, sir.
Watch it. It's worth the watch. Me and Shannon have both watched it, and there's a scene in there. What? Go ahead. Yes, that's where he got that from. If you asking, that's where he got that from.
You know, I have to say this.
Wait, before you go in, let me just make this point.
Yeah.
So there's a scene in there where there's a young brother and they're asking him, well, you know, how did you become a member of the Black Panther Party? And I'm paraphrasing a lot of the scene. But for all our viewers who haven't seen it, watch the movie. They ask him, well, you know, how did you, you know, get out here to become, you know, part of the Black Panther Party? He said, well, you know, I started off with the NAACP, but they moved too slow. So I had to go, you know, with Black Panthers who were actually out there making things happen. Now, this movie took place in what, 74, 75, Shannon? 72? Somewhere around there, early 70s. Yeah. The problem that I had with that is that statement still holds true in 2021. Now, and I agree with you both. And Shannon, I even agree with Shannon with him saying that the NAACP of the civil rights movement was where the action was. They were doing things. And the idea of the responsibility, the trickle down theory. And even with that, I want to see like President Derek Jackson, he has been more visible than any other NAACP president in years. And I'll give him that. But their policies still haven't changed. They're that slow moving sort of, well, we'll sit down and we'll talk about it and see what happens kind of attitude is still there. There's still the problem of them not understanding that you are the biggest stick in the yard. You got to get to swinging it. Right. Our people.
Wait a minute though. Who are they the biggest stick for? Because it really ain't for us.
Let me finish. And I'll say, you know what? And I'll agree with you because they haven't used it where it needs to be used. They haven't used it like you were saying before. Where are you at in Little Rock? Where are you at in Chicago? Why ain't you in Brooklyn? Why ain't you in LA? Why ain't you in Dallas? You know?
Why you ain't in Fairfield?
Why you ain't in Fairfield?
That's you know. But I gotta say, I haven't seen the movie. Most movies like that I don't watch, and I had to tell my son because he wanted me. I don't watch movies like that. One, because I can't help but to think it was somebody else's narrative put in there, you know?
Yeah.
So it's hard for me to watch movies like that. It's hard for me to watch movies like Mississippi Burning, things like that. So I just rather read about it and do my own research. Most of that stuff I've lived anyway to a certain extent. No, I wasn't around in the 60s getting burnt and bitten by dogs, but for a certain fact, I understand, you know, but I want to go back to the accountability. And this goes hand in hand with accountability. And I think this is where the problems are. This is where the problem starts.
Gotcha.
We as Black folks have to stop thinking like black folks. We need to start thinking like black folks.
Facts.
Stay with
Facts.
me. Stay with me. Stay with me.
I'm with you. I'm with you on that.
I was just my brothers know I did a speech for the Martin Luther King Day here in Vacaville. It was super great. One of the organizers was a little nervous, was like, hey, I don't really have a time scale. The people are gonna be worried, they always think we're on color people time. And it hit. So, we got this thing like we ain't trying to live up to what they perceive us to be. Why? We accountable. You know what? We are gonna be late. Bet that. Let's embrace it. You know what? We do look alike. Let's embrace it. You know what? We do talk loud. Let's embrace it. You know what? We are monstrative. Let's embrace it. Let's be us, right? Here's the big one. Here's the big one. Y'all can't get along. You damn right we can't get along. There it is. I said it. I'm putting dirty laundry out there. Like, what's old girl? I forget her name, the singer. She has dirty laundry. We're going to air some dirty laundry. You know what? That's our problem. That's our problem as black folks. Because we don't want to air our dirty laundry. We don't want people to know we got a problem with bruh. Bruh, I got a problem with you, man.
Let's sit down and talk about it.
Right? You know what? Ooh, let's not tell them we got a problem. Everybody can see we got a problem, Tim. All right? So let's just go out there and deal with it. Well, we'll never move along. We'll never get nowhere because they say if we can't clean up our house, how are we gonna clean up all the houses? You know what? We'll get there. But right now, we're gonna air some dirty laundry so we can all be on the same page instead of us burning each other's house down. Let's get this dirty laundry out there and let's be accountable for what we done did. So,
I'm gonna give you this one. Listen to this one. One of the big things that I try to tell people that kills any and all arguments, that makes you sit down and have a discussion, ownership. And I'm not just talking about ownership of property. I'm talking about ownership of self.
Yes.
All three of us right here got some type of dirt. All three of us.
Dirty laundry. Dirty.
But I guarantee you, we gonna own it before we give anybody else a chance to own it.
Hey Ty. We'd be a great spokesman for you. We'd be a great spokesman for you, Ty. We need a sponsor.
You know what? And Smitty, you know what?
Just hold on.
No, hold on. Before I forget this, okay. Because I'm thinking about what he just said, and how do you formulate it and get it to a point to where, yeah, we can air our dirty laundry.
Mm-hmm.
I know everybody on here with us, we're not going to get up and go run the master and say, master, we're not going to do that move. We're going to come head on. My problem is, and I have to say it, this is our show. I got to say it. When you deal with a person who responds more like a bitch than anything else, and I went there because that's the way this is. Honestly, we've been going, we've been dealing with this tactic back and forth, and let's call it what it is. This is three grown ass men sitting on this show right now that want to talk to one little bitch that won't come to the table, and I'm calling it for what it is because
make sure we're not naming names. Because we don't give him not naming names because we want to give him no particular power, just the fact that your rights, facts.
But Troy, go ahead. I think you had something on the burner.
Yes. Now, and this is where we win. When you own your stuff, you have that power.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody can take that from you.
Mm-hmm.
No one can sit here and come to me and tell me about my kids, my truck, my house, my mom, my wife. I own all, that's all me. My uncle, some of my cousins who I don't like. How you was talking earlier. You got family members and friends that do drugs and sell drugs, as do I. I own that. you can't come at me with that one because I'll stand with you. Yeah, you wrong. You were just doing you shouldn't be doing that.
Hey, while I'm getting the contact high, yeah, you wrong, dog. You wrong.
You wrong, partner. I didn't told you. He's telling you now. We have ownership.
Absolutely.
When we have ownership, we have power. Now, back to the NAACP and any other groups, for that matter. When you have ownership and power, you don't have to ask permission. You can just go and do whatever it is you want to go do. You can go help.
Can I please?
Well, let me finish this sentence, and then I'm gonna let them. You can go ahead and go in. You can go help where you are needed, and not just where you want to go, or what you think is going to be acceptable. Go ahead, Smith.
Accountability. That's where we're at. That's what we talk about. What Detroit just said about one of the young brothers that left the NAACP to go to Black Panthers. Slow feet don't eat. All right. Remember that. Because look what just happened. Look what just happened midweek last week. I want to say Wednesday, Thursday. A couple older Asian Americans got beat up, pushed down, robbed in broad daylight. Man, the Asian community was on fire the next day. Right. They was organizing movements. They was organizing street security. They was getting it. It wasn't hiding behind protocol. They wasn't waiting to get a letter. They wasn't waiting to get invited. They wasn't waiting for it to happen again. They was on the news. They was on the radio. They was on social media. They were saying, not here, not today. You will not terrorize our Asian elderly people. It's not going to happen.
We ain't doing that.
What did we do?
We're not having it.
They got help from the Latino community. They got help from the Native American community. They didn't call on them. Those folks went to them. They went, we're going to help you too. We're going to help you too.
Can I ask you a question? Because we know who takes ownership. We know about accountability. So my question is, and somebody explain this to me, how come it takes just a handful of us to go do what's needed to be done? But when we have these powerful organizations, instead of them speaking out against the police brutality, against them putting a knee in a sister's back, they want to hold press conferences about something we don't care about a white person getting killed, which is wrong. It's wrong, but the police did their job.
But they're not our business. Smith, you want to take this? You want me to take this? You want to start? I'll finish.
That is. I said this. I had a very good, quick conversation with older Black gentleman today. He was probably 65, 70. And this is what I said to him. Everybody wants to, me and Troy had this conversation. I know I said it to Troy. Everybody wants to be pro-Black until it's time to be pro-Black. It's so easy for you to be the president of an organization and say, oh, we won't tolerate it. And then when the shit hits the fan,
you tuck and tell.
We gotta wait because it's an open investigation. We can't speak on it yet, but as soon as we find out something, we'll get back to you.
Although, to Shannon's point, when you want to speak out, you will speak out.
Quickly.
Full blast.
You're running them people like they your daddy and tell on people.
Oh, there you go with that again. I'm not messing with you with that one.
Let there be a fundraiser. I bet you there's emails. I bet you there's posting on social media. They probably gonna have a commercial playing on the radio because they want your money. But when you need their help, when you don't get your face bashed in and maced, there's an investigation. We don't
want
to get out there and get ahead of ourselves. Now,
you have to fill out a complaint form.
We gotta wait for due process.
You have to fill out a complaint form before we can even address this issue.
You're stupid. Okay, hold on. Now, I'm gonna give you just a little historic theology. We have to remember this. We're all the three of us are either in our 50s or are tapping on being 50. We honestly have to remember we're only a generation away from segregation.
Oh yeah,
Without question. Now, the people, we're still in that mentality though of understanding that we don't have to ask for permission. And the three of us understand as an organization, we don't have to ask for permission. We see a problem and then we go and we deal with it. We have groups like the ACLU, NAACP, Rainbow Coalition, all these other big top-notch organizations who are still in that mentality though of we have to ask permission before we take action in our community.
Right.
We have to ask, and just think about, hold on, I'm gonna say it one more time. We have to ask for permission to fix our own communities. That's how,
and again, asking for permission to fix our own problems. And then we trying to do it hush hush because we don't want them to know we got problems. They know we got problems. They know we got problems.
They put them problems there.
So I want to just finish what I was talking about of this whole accountability and us just putting ourselves out there. Mm-hmm. So go back to pirates. Just think pirates. And you can go like back to like the ocean days and think pirates, or you can think like most recent Somalian pirates. All right. Mm-hmm. They come together. Hey, you got 10 pirates on the ship. They got one goal. Get the booty. Right?
That's it.
They ain't arguing about hey man, we need to go this route, or we need to take this route, or who's gonna steer the things, who's gonna climb up there. Yeah, no. Let's go get the booty. Then we'll worry about everything else after that.
Or even more important, whose it is.
Whose it is. It's ours. it's ours.
Ours.
It's ours, matey. It's ours, matey. You know?
You know what? I think we need to honestly, I think we need to do a workshop on ownership.
On pirates.
Okay, no. Yes. Shannon, you, yes. Smitty, no. No, but that's what. No pirate workshops. I don't even know how to put that together.
I got it.
No. Honestly, I think we do. We do. You know.
No, we all. You know what? That's what I was talking to you about earlier. That I was telling Shannon that we need to start putting to. We were talking about putting together workshops for our community. If we're going to take on this,
you know what? And
no. What we should do,
how far are we in? What time is? I haven't been keeping time.
I don't know.
Shannon started it without telling nobody. So
yeah, we got some time. We got a little bit of time here.
Look, okay. What we should do is keep doing what we're doing, right? Yes. First and foremost, we show up. We don't. You ain't got to fill out no complaint form. You ain't got to call and get the operator and say, hey, if you want so and so, reach out, go. We just gonna keep doing. But what we do need to do is keep motivating the people to do that. They need to hold their own workshops. You need to hold your own workshop. You need to figure out what it is you want to do and where you trying to go. Because see, again, go back to that pirate mentality. We all trying to get there. We can't. Everybody ain't gonna have the same pathway to get there, and it's cool. It's cool. Let's embrace our dirty laundry. Let's embrace it. Okay. Because see, again, here we go. We're going to let them control the narrative and tell us what we can and what we can't argue about out in public. Man, again, Troy, great. I love what you said, that we still think we got to ask them for things. Ain't nobody got to ask you for nothing.
You know what? I stopped asking. You know what? I stopped asking a long time ago.
Well, we understand that, Shannon. We understand.
I ain't got time to ask. You know what? Yeah. And that just goes to your thought process. And I want to share this real quick because I want to go right back to my awesome Asian community who are phenomenal. They show up and show out like ain't nobody's business.
Business, please.
But to Troy's point about we still think we gotta ask, and we gotta obey. We gotta obey. Bill Cosby said had a great joke about obey. You gotta obey. Listen, how powerful will this movement be? The Asian community got their own year. It don't start with our year. It don't start with the American year. It starts on their own year. They got their own representation for the month. They got their own month. All right. I'm saying for us three, January is no longer January. We're gonna call January FU. How about that? That's what we're gonna have our own calendar, our own black calendar. We
okay,
make
this is just a facts. This is gonna be a work in progress.
Because again, we don't have to ask. We don't have to ask you. We got our own calendar.
And instead of it being February, I'm with you. We can call it Blackawary.
Whatever.
What it says, Blackawary?
Dude, you know what? We hey man, you know what? We was halfway joking last time when we said that in the month of February, white folks got to do. We're gonna change the roles. Hey, look, we make our own months, man, and change it. And hey,
well, I'm gonna give you this. You know what?
Hey, my Asian community. This the year I think it's the monkey. Well, the black community, it's the year of the pimp. How about that? Now what? What?
Okay, I'm halfway with you. I'm not gonna celebrate the age of the pimp, the year of the pimp. I can't.
Hater. You just hate me.
I am. I was gonna say yes. There's no way. There's nothing in me. R.I.P. Fudgy. For those who know who Fudgy is,
Shout out Huggy Bear.
Y'all know.
Shout out Huggy Bear.
But you know what?
There's nowhere in the world. That's too Midwest for me. Now.
and
now,
you know what?
But hold on, wait. Let me just say this though. Point, because it is the idea of us being, back to your original point, Smitty, accountable. And there's no reason why we have to be submissive and accountable at the same time. That doesn't make sense.
Submissive, accountable, and shush.
All at once. So we are.
Wait. How can you be submissive and accountable
I don't know, bro. But that's what we're doing.
Exactly.
That's what we're doing. Just how Smitty said, we have to. What did you say? We have to let them know. We don't want them to know that we got problems. They know we got problems.
That's why we have welfare. That's why we have welfare. That's why we have prison, because they know we got problems.
Yes, they know, because they put it, although white folks are on welfare more than black folks.
But hey, you know what, and that's just straight facts. But they know we have problems. Wait, they know we have problems. And the reason they know we have problems, I hate to say, I've had a couple of them call me about the problems we got. And I'm tired of it.
Oh yeah. Now, I'm gonna tell you where we're at though. And please correct me if I'm wrong, but we're on that same sort of precipice of having a movement similar to what the Black Panthers had. Because we're in all our shows we call out on the community to get involved. How we were saying earlier, Smitty, how me and Shannon was talking about us putting on workshops. You were like, no, the community needs to put on workshops. We have enough, Latino, Black, Asian business owners, professionals that can reach back and teach our communities how to do the same thing that they did. I mean, my brother Shannon is doing this hand over fist with working with the school.
And you just said it yourself. You just said the key word yourself. And it goes right back to what Smitty said, accountability. But the word that you used was teach.
Yes.
And when we look at teach,
are we going to get into the schools? Are we going to
yeah,
into the schools?
I had to bring it up because anybody can go online and look at the state report. The state report states that our community colleges across the state are failing these students. And it's not at the community college level. It's at the K through 12 level, this Common Core. Students are graduating and they're not prepared for the courses of a college curriculum. There are no remedial courses in college. In the schools, our high schools and educators aren't preparing these students for what needs to take place. Common Core is a joke. You know, me and Troy, we had this conversation earlier. I thought 2 + 2 would be 4 forever, but apparently with Common Core, you got about 8 or 9 ways now.
Evidently, there's a 9 that gets involved somewhere that I didn't know that really existed.
I want to sarcastically say this. I'm not surprised that Common Core exists because every time Black folks are allowed to succeed, they change the rules on us. Kind of that old Charlie Brown and Lucy. Oh, y'all on your way? No, you ain't. Not today. Go to the back of the bus, nigga. You know, that kind of shit right there. You know, but what I want to touch on.
Hold on. Let me ask you this question, Smitty, because Shannon asked me this earlier, and I'm going to just expand it just a little bit. You know, 12 + 12 = 24, right?
Yes, sir.
Because you take one 12 and you put it up here, and then you take that second 12 and you put it down here, and then you just add that 2 + 2 = 4, and that 1 + 1 = 2. So then that's 24, right? That's what we grew up on. Mm-hmm. And that's what a majority of the student governing board, or the school district, those people grew up on, right? Mm-hmm. Now, Common Core says that doesn't work, right? Do we need to send them back to school?
No.
Okay.
So, again, Charlie Brown and Lucy, right when you think you got it, right?
Oh, my bad. My bad. So in that instance, I'm Charlie Brown.
Exactly. The school system is a reflection to me, and this is just me, of society. So, because it goes back to core math, 1 and 1 = 2, right? We know that. We're three of us. That's how we count. It's 3 of us. Well, then I see us all are men. We're all men. We all have manhood. We have that unit. We're a man. Well, somewhere society was like, you know what? I'm not a man and I'm not a woman. I am an it. So that's what you're gonna. I don't want to have a dress on at the restroom. I don't want to have a pantsuit on at the restroom. I just want to be that. I want to be him or it or this. So, right when we're like, oh shit, we got our freedom, we can vote. I'm a black man. Well, hold on. Maybe not. Maybe not truly a man.
Slow that down. Easy. Slow that down. Easy on the black guy.
Easy, big fella. Easy, big fella. So now you go into school. And they was like, well, is Mr. Russell? Is that you? No, I'm not Mr. Russell. I am Mahat. I'm Mahat. I'm Mahat. That's what I am. I'm not a human. I'm not a man. I'm not a female. I'm Mahat. And I'm going to teach you how 1 and 1 could really be 7. Now you go home and tell your mom and dad that. But again, it's just we are in a crazy time when people just do what the hell they want to do. And that's why I go back to what I said earlier. Why are we waiting? Why are we waiting for someone to say, come to our table? And I've been saying, y'all know me. I'm saying, we're not going to no one's table. We got our own table. You know,
fold them out every time.
That's accountability. But I do want to say this before I go in on that tangent to support what Shannon said about not being prepared, these young folks. All right. So here's the thing, and I'm only speaking on California, and I'm going to get real micro, macro real quick. Macro, state of California doesn't graduate students. It pushes them out of high school. It doesn't graduate them. It pushes them out.
Yes.
And it pushes them out at 55% proficiency in math and English. 55% proficiency in math and English. That's clear across the board. I don't care what color you are. I'm just talking about a human being, a human student, right? Ask yourself, is there any job you can do 55% of the work for it and continue to keep that job? State of California does. That's called the Board of Education. So you take the demographics and you narrow them down. No, let me before that. We're still macro. Let me stay on the macro side. Let's go to county, Solano County. Solano County is patting themselves on the back because they're pushing students out at 53% proficiency, math and English.
Wow.
53%. And they're happy because they meet the state's average of 55. So they're at 53, right? Let's narrow it down now. Let's go micro. Solano County, demographics, Black and Latino males. Black and Latino males are getting out of high school at less than 33% proficiency in math and English. That's right here in our county.
Wow.
And I say this with a sarcastic answer. And they expect us to succeed.
Right.
Or they don't want us to succeed.
They don't want us to succeed. And it shows, because students that actually come out and they're told, and here's the problem. Students are told, well, you can go to college after high school and get a better job and everything else. Well, here's the problem. You can't, because for one, these educators, our government, the society hasn't provided them with the tools to prepare them for this. You're not giving them what they need to make them successful. So this falls back on you yourself, the people, and honestly, I'm not going to say it's all the education system's fault. A lot of this also falls back on the people. I'm one that wants to, I try to be as proactive as I can in my son's life with his education. I'm a stickler for it. So my thing is, these parents need to step up to the plate too. You need to know what they're teaching your son or daughter, and what they're going to need in order to move on to the next steps.
Hey, and I will say this because I'm a hypocrite. I'm a hypocrite, Shannon, but I think this is, again, we need to air our dirty laundry. This is what I told all three of mine. Bring me my A's and B's. I didn't care about nothing else. I didn't even know the curriculum. I didn't know the superintendent. I didn't know the principal. I didn't know the teachers. Bring me my damn A's and B's, right? That's all we know. That's all we know. This is why I push so hard for young parents to get involved with the school, with the district, with these people. Know what they're teaching, like Shannon said. Know what's in the curriculum. What's in the curriculum? Vacaville just passed at their last board meeting 3 supplemental instructional material books. 2 are about Black folks. I thought that was phenomenal. I checked one out. I saw Black Girl Dreaming. Super great book. Super great book. Nobody in the community knows about it. Everybody I asked, they're like, nope. What books? Are they going to be sending them home? Do we got to buy them? No. Know what's going on.
Now, and I'm also give you this one, because the school district is a business.
It is.
It is a business. Ever since I was a young one and found out, oh no, they get paid for every day that you're in school. As long as they can check you out, that's why they take roll. Part of it is to make sure they can check off the box. Oh yeah, Troy was here, Smitty was here, Shannon was here. Oh yeah, they're here. So now we can turn that in and make sure the state pays us our money for our school. The other part of the problem is we have our young men, our Latino and Black men, getting kicked out of school they're actually getting set up And when you said that, that brought me back to what were our guest last week with Diz Green getting kicked out of getting released with no ID.
Mm-hmm.
Setting him up to get arrested.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, this isn't setting up our young men to get arrested, to stay in a rut, to stay a statistic. And the other thing is, the school district gets pissed when a charter school opens up,
Mm-hmm.
or a private school opens up, because they lose money.
Mm-hmm.
Now, why are we paying you in the first place if these are the numbers you put now? Because now it's not even, if we look at it, we want to be out in your micro. Well, your macro said it was 55%, and you compared it, what job can you do at 55% and keep it? But then amongst Latino men and Black men, it's 35%?
33.
Can we call it
33%.
intercommunity? Can we call it intercommunity gentrification with our school district?
It's a system.
Because
it's
yeah,
systematic.
It's
It's just, once again, can we call it just another part, not form, but part of systematic racism?
And you know what? I hate to say it, because we are in Solano County, and these kids are supposed to be our future. And right now, I'm going to say and put it out there: everybody that watches this that has kids, you need to step up to the plate. You need to be at some school board meetings. You need to be finding out what's going on. You need to be
asking what these
yelling
books are that y'all releasing.
Yeah, and then you need to
That's
be
the problem.
finding out. You need to be finding out who that superintendent is and be on top of their neck constantly, so your child can learn what they need to know to advance.
Yes.
And don't let them get you with this drag. Oh, well, ed code doesn't allow me. Ed code is a bunch of crap to protect their own selves.
Absolutely.
That's all it is.
And now I'm gonna say something, but I'm using a different context so we don't get Shannon upset, or even myself, because I'm gonna have issues with it. We, to a certain extent, we just want to matter. And right now, these people, the schools are telling our kids that they don't matter, because they're just shooting them out. Okay, thank you. We can't get any more money for you, so bye. But we're throwing them out there, and the playing field isn't equel at all. Hold on, and let me finish this. So, to answer your question, they are setting up the future that they want.
Oh, yeah.
This isn't new. This isn't some systematic or new game. The game is what it is. We, as you said, Shannon, and you said too, Smitty, we need to start playing the game. Yeah. Meaning, we need to start going to school board meetings. We need to start making sure we get involved in our council. We need to make sure we let our kids know. Smitty, I thank you for taking ownership. You just said, bring me back A's and B's. You and now it's a good thing. Now you understand that wasn't the completely correct path to go. There's more to it.
So much more.
But now,
you know what's so bad about it? You know what's so bad about it? And me and my wife, I sit back and laugh at it now, because my daughter, she'll come by and she knows. And I say, talk to your brother. You know how I was. I stayed on her with her grades in school. This has always been a thing. Education has always been key. But it's also at that principle to where, and I'll take ownership. Does it make me a bad dad because I prefer education over this or that? No. I think what I look at is that we have been held back. Blacks, Latinos, we have been held back for so long, to where anytime we get that golden ticket, that opportunity where we can go and fly off and do what we need to, you got this roadblock, that roadblock. So now it's time for us to come out and say, stop putting these roadblocks there. Let our kids do what they need to do.
Facts.
Hey, and I
All right,
want to
30
say,
seconds.
That's it. That's because I was about to go in on I was about to go in.
That's what your 30 seconds. You can go use your 30 seconds for that.
30
You got to
seconds.
still give a solution. You got to give a solution.
We have solutions. This is solutions. So here we go. Go,
The
Smith.
solution, here's the solution. As Black folks, to Shannon say, we're always holding ourselves back, but we're also talking about education. We want those opportunities. Black folks couldn't read. Black folks couldn't write. We was getting killed for trying to do that. We wanted our kids to be doctors and lawyers and teachers, and now they are. We got Black doctors. We got Black doctors who've worked on the vaccine for this COVID. So we got Black folks saying, I ain't taking it. I'm not going to experiment. Your own people that we've been pushing for all these years help create it. They help find it. They help come up with a vaccination, but we don't want to take it. We still don't trust ourselves. At some point in time, we got to stop thinking like Black folks and start thinking like Black folks.
Facts. Shannon, that was hot. That was hot.
That was hot. That was hot. That's
I gotta give you that one. That was hot.
You know what? You know what? And this is
your 30 seconds.
Yeah. Everybody talks about solutions. Everybody talks about solutions. And they talk about, I got this idea or I got that idea. Instead of telling everybody about it, just get up and do it. Get up and do it. End of story.
Facts.
Facts.
Hitting them with that one. All right. Our accountability level is so low, we're still asking for permission to be accountable. We need the idea, the simple idea of, like Shannon just said, we can do things. Smitty just said, we always wanted to be doctors and lawyers, but we are. So why are we still asking for permission? What are we, and matter of fact, what are we asking permission for? Our success is our success. We have to be accountable. We have to show up, people. We have to show up. Man, that was it. That was mine. That was mine. All three of them was nice. Hey, everybody, thank you. Thank you for hanging out this weekend. I don't know how long this one was, but it was good. We went up, we had some stuff. And this is what we do. This is our conversations. You think we just coming out here? No, we talk like this amongst ourselves. We say some other stuff that I don't think y'all ready for, but this is what we do amongst ourselves. Thank you for hanging out again on the third show. Make sure you like and follow our page on YouTube. Check us out on Facebook and Instagram. Shout out to our sister Beatrice. You ain't here, but you always here with us.
Waterboarding.
See, now you're starting to fight. That wasn't, see.
We out.
Good night.
We out.
Good night. I'm done. Good night.